why then would you be so apt to say, oh, I'll take my freedom? You'll like almost fight for your freedom of speech, but not the rest of it. Not just saying you, but I'm just saying in general.
But once again, we can't judge, and that's being judgmental, because you can't judge what fight a person chooses to do their battles in. Bottom line, like that's the whole thing. People are just so, they won't you gotta let a person be. If they want to fight for the First Amendment alone, by all means. Okay, we got somebody that's going to fight for the rest of them, right? The other 12, I think it's 13 amendments. I could be wrong, but there's going to be somebody else who's going to fight for the other 12. So I don't care about that one person going rah for one. That's, once again, free will. That's your call. By all means, shout till your lungs is sore, right? That's that. I don't understand that. I promise you I don't. It says, let me read this, and I just Googled it, right? It says, does freedom of speech have limits? The First Amendment allows us to speak our mind and stand up for what we believe in.
Welcome to the Love Is Podcast with your host, that thorny chick, Karen KK Rose, and her co-host, the lovable a-hole, that's right, I said lovable, Mr. DK Walker, where they will be discussing love, relationships, family, life, sex, self-help, and what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. Why? Because love is everything, and everything should be loved. Now to today's podcast.
Hello, everyone. It's your girl, that Thorny Chick, Karen KK Rose, alongside my co-host, the lovable asshole, DK Walker. DK, tell the people hello.
What's popping, people?
That's it? That's it?
Yeah, just what's going on, what's happening, what's popping, how's it hanging, what's going on with your life, how you living, you prayed up. Yeah, that's pretty much about it.
Okay. Anything new with you?
No, not really. Holidays are coming up. Wife's birthday is this Saturday. I haven't done nothing 9 times out of 10. It'll be last minute, so I need to be creative. That's about it. What about you?
The typical man planning.
No. Shit, I just bought a house. This shit gift for the next 5 years. Fuck out of here.
It's not. You get one solid year. That's
No, you don't. Like,
you do.
Y'all kill. No, I'm sorry. Like, when you pull, like I tell you, you got to say it, right? You rob Peter, pay Paul, and you pray that Jesus don't find out. Shit. That's a gift for at least a decade. I'm just, keep it clean and it look new. Keep it clean and it look like your gift will look new if you keep the house clean. That's all I'm saying.
You only get it for the first year.
Yeah, okay. That shit ain't written down nowhere.
Listen, you went from 5 years to 10 years. Like the timeline keeps getting pushed back.
You have to understand it's a major, I ain't tooting my home, but it's a major investment. So people need to be understanding, like, I don't know. I guess because me personally, I don't celebrate holidays. I don't celebrate birthdays. Like because like not sounding morbid, when a birthday passes, you're a year closer to your death, right? And so that should, for me, I use that to motivate me. Like I ask myself, did I get done what I said I was going to do in the previous year? And so the answer is no. Then I double down, or I try my best to double down on those efforts to, cross things off the list that I'm trying to do. Other people, they want to turn up. They want to, I'm this age, I'm that age. And that's all they got to show for it is age. Me, I want to show accomplishments. So I'm not really big on birthdays, man. It's just, you're just a year closer to me dying. So that sounds morbid, I know, but it's just the truth.
It's just perspective, and that's your perspective.
Yeah, I like to say truthful perspective, but it is what it is.
Right. Well, happy birthday to Nikki. I hope you find something creative, like you said. For
right. Mm-hmm. Sure.
For you, I can tell you're so swayed. No, nothing new is going on. Adjusting to the cold Midwest and not having any hair. It's the constant battle of covering my head, not covering my head. Now that the weather's changing, of course, every sniffle, every cough, everybody's like, you've got corona. It's like, it's really not. It's just that my allergies, the weather's changing. We had like a couple really nice days, and then it went to cold. It went really, really cold. So everybody's, it's like allergies are acting up. And of course, everybody's like, you got corona. I'm like, I don't have a fever. I don't have a cough. I don't have a cold, but like, if you even say, oh, like yesterday in particular, my throat was kind of sore, my ear was itching, and you could see me like walking around the ER, like doing that, like this. I have like this little movement with my knuckle in my ear. Like, I don't know if it really helps or not, but it felt good to me. And they were like, you need to get checked out. I'm like, come here, come check me then.
Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of false positives. I'm not in the medical field, but being as though we are in the flu season, right? Allergies, things of this nature, people are going to be having those symptoms, and people are going to, of course, they're going to assume the worst, forgetting that, people have these same, symptoms every year.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with COVID, but, I have each other. People, please stay safe.
Please wear your mask.
That, yeah. So, yeah, because the numbers are going back up. So just, I don't know, man, stay prayed up, man, and be safe, be smart. Definitely be smart.
So other than that, yeah, I think that's it. Nothing new to report with the love life. He still calls every day, texts throughout the day. So far so good with that. I was thinking about this earlier. I was like, oh, if DK asked me about this, I was like, the thing I did want to say to the podcast was, I was like, the downside of living in the same city with the guys that they can pull up, which he does have the, penchant to do. Like, if he just feels like, oh, I want to see you. So, just comes by, rings the doorbell. But I was like, dang, I can't use it. Like, when dudes was out of town, like, oh, I'm busy. And I'm,
but still,
chilling.
Shouldn't he call before he come? That's kind of presumptuous. Like we can be cool, right? But, just don't assume I want to see you. I may be in love with you. You may got the bomb loving, but just still don't assume that, you can come, because I could be in my pajamas. I could be, girlfriends. I can have a male friend over, but just don't assume, talking about you, of course, that,
Right.
I want to see you. I mean, but if you open that door and you've yet to say anything, then that was like, that was definitely okay. Like, if you didn't be like, if you didn't pull up on him, be like, man, I appreciate, you being, whimsical, but it's polite to call before you come to make sure that I'm available. Just don't think because you're courting me that I'm readily available anytime that you want to park in front of my house and hit my doorbell. But I don't know. It's just me.
He kind of asked like those feeler questions, like, hey, what are you doing? Nothing. Like, what does that mean? Nothing. And I'm like, what do you want? Like, what are you getting at? And then it's kind of like, as you kind of drug, I'm like, how far away are you from my house? Because I think like E-way to E-way, we're maybe 10 minutes apart. So, I mean, it's real easy to jump on, jump back off. But I'm like, how far away are you? Because I'm like, you probably are on the E-way heading here. And he's like, I mean, I could be in there. I might not be. And then he said it before, like, oh, I'm on my way there. And I'm like, yeah, right. And he didn't show up. So sometimes he just says it to be saying it, I think, just to keep me on my toes to see, like, is she going to spaz out? Is she going to really be there? Like, is she going to leave? So I think he just does things to see, like, what's her reaction.
It sounds to me you like this affectionate, crazy shit. So, you know. Cool. If you like it, I love it.
Right. Well, moving on to my favorite part of the show. It's What the Fuck News. This one's actually pretty decent, DK. I pride myself on getting these halfway decent, interesting tidbits for the show. Oh, Lord. I gotta stop laughing. All right. So this says, the first time I went down on my high school girlfriend, which I don't understand why we're still referring to oral sex as going down, but who am I? I mean, it's not a 90s R&B song. But anywho, first time I went down on my high school girlfriend was at my best friend's dad's apartment.
Okay.
We drank a little that night, got our buzz on, and then it was down to business. She says, mid-foreplay, I need to use the bathroom. I'm like, okay. Comes back 5 minutes later, right back to loving. After about 10 minutes, I decide that I'm brave enough for the first time to go down on her. Long story short, while she was in the bathroom, she used a spermicide. And after 5 minutes of exploring and lapping her vagina like a lost puppy, my lips and mouth go completely numb. I can't feel... I said I was going to try to make it all the way through. I can't feel my tongue, my face. She was absolutely mortified.
Okay. I don't know if you got more to read. He's a nasty ass dude. Because she excused herself to go to the bathroom. So unless she went up there to freshen up and then you immediately went down, You nasty, Slim. You
That gives a whole new meaning to I can't feel my face.
Jesus, really, dude? She said I'm going to the bathroom. She didn't say I'm going to wash my hands. She didn't say I'm going to take off my makeup.
But y'all was already like in the bed, like messing around.
Now that doesn't. But she said she goes to the bathroom.
Right.
That means your head should not go lower than her nipples. I'm just, she went to the bathroom, so your head should not go lower than her chin. Like, well, you live in danger, and some people into that. Once again, I can't judge. If you like it, I love it. But once she said she was going, then the farthest you should have went with your head as far as going down is to, her nipples. Now if her nipples hung below, you might be in trouble. But if she was, and then you said y'all was young and teenager, so she still was like, she probably had the perky joints, right? And so that was cool. But you special, Slim, you real live. I promise you's a special breed of guy. Cause there's no guy that I personally know, if a female tell me I'm excuse me, I have to go to the bathroom. Oh, now, yeah, you can go ahead and finish up on me, but I'd be damn if I do anything to you. Shitting me.
Why?
She just said she left the bathroom.
Okay.
Now she said, okay. Now she would have said, I'm going to the bathroom to freshen up. That lets me know she gonna make sure that her lady parts are presentable, right? Like her lady parts are good for, that her lady parts are edible, right? Not a problem. But she just said, excuse me, I'm going to the bathroom. There's a multi. You said that she needs to use the bathroom?
Yeah.
Anytime somebody says that, we thinking they're gonna use the toilet. I don't say, okay, think about it. I don't say I need to use the bathroom, I have to go wash my hands. I say I'm going to wash my hands, right? Most normal people say I'm going to wash my hands. We're not going to say I'm going to use the bathroom to wash my hands.
Right.
With your bathroom, I need to, nasty ass dude. Whew.
So if she had peed and came, so basically the thought process is she went to the bathroom to go to the bathroom. And then because she went to the bathroom, that's it. That's the end of it.
Yeah, you don't supposed to. I mean, no. You can continue your business. But like I said, you don't continue like what?
With your mouth.
No.
Oh, listen, this is a new game to me. I'm like literally like just sitting here like, huh?
What? Okay, if a guy told you that he was going to the bathroom and y'all was in, and then y'all get back in it, and then would you still give him head before hearing what I just said? Because if you would, that means you nasty. Because he just told you I'm going to the bathroom. He ain't say I'm going to the bathroom to freshen up. And then if he's freshening up 9 times out of 10, unless the bathroom holds, huh?
I said, depending on how far away you are from the bedroom to the bathroom, you go here. So you would hope that he washed it off. But I'm the type but we know me. I'm the type that's going to ask. I'm like, well, did you wash it? Did you?
Okay, but yeah, all right. So it may be a few times that you didn't. Maybe you was like the female. Y'all, sipped on something, and then alcohol lowers your inhibitions. Yeah. Right. So okay. Let me backtrack. Let me go in and help my man save face. Maybe because they were drinking, maybe because he had a little buzz, and they said they had the buzz on. So cool. So he wasn't thinking clearly. Okay, I'm trying to give you a benefit of the doubt. So, maybe he was into, yeah.
The remnants of a golden shower?
I mean, I don't know.
This is the thing, though, for girls. Like, women is completely different. Like, if I say I'm going to the bathroom, I am probably most likely because you're supposed to pee before and after sex. The only thing, the difference between girls is that while we're doing all of that, or we're making you think that's what we're doing, we typically are freshening up.
Well, I would hope the thing is fresh. If you know you're going to get busy, it should be fresh beforehand. That's the only thing I'm saying. If
I
you
agree.
know.
But if I got to pee in between because I done drank, like, a fish.
Well, come out the bathroom naked and then I can, she smell like soap. Oh, we good to go.
Right. That's my whole thing. I'm like
you don't come out here smelling like you just left. Like, what?
Oh.
You don't get your nasty ass on somewhere? Lady, just because you may be cute. You know what I mean? Don't think that because you're attractive, that your looks is going to help your taste. It don't work that way. It may look good, but it may taste like, help yourself out, man. Just
taste like what?
I don't know. I just know you can't come out the bathroom talking about here I go. Like, no, here you go and there I went. Fuck, I'm out this door. You're nasty ass. And I'm a nasty dude, but something like, I'm not that nasty. No. It's non-negotiable.
I feel like I just
Cause you laugh because you probably got some dude like that. And he went here and handled his business and you didn't think nothing of it.
No,
Oh, he loved me.
no. Like,
You know, it is what it is.
I just feel like I just got a whole new like lesson in sex.
Nah, it's called, that's not, you had nothing to do with sex. It's common courtesy. Like you.
Okay, because this is the thing in true transparency. Like if I say I gotta go to the bathroom, yeah, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. But while I'm in the bathroom, between peeing and washing my hands, then I'm obviously taking care of down there too.
Okay, but how many females don't? Like how many dudes don't? Because the females ain't only guilty ones. You got a rack of dudes too. Shake it off. You know what I mean? Make sure no pee residue around the head. He gonna put your mouth on it. Why would she want to do that, Slim?
And your balls is probably musty anyway.
Right. Oh, people, come on now. My thing is, try your best not to use just try your best not to. That's the only thing I'm saying. I mean, if you want return engagements to oral delights, then you got to make sure that the oral delights are, edible, wholesomely clean.
Well, he didn't have to worry about that because
then he come up, his old going face, he can't feel his face. So he ain't even thinking that, she didn't, he probably thinking like, oh, this is that new STD I got in the mouth.
Ew. But my thing is, why didn't she warn him?
Well, okay, once again, they were drunk. Or okay, just as much as he's nasty, depends on how big of a buzz they had. Then she had to be uber nasty because she knew what she did and she still let him do that. That's like if she was on and then she still let him go down. Man.
Oh, yeah, that's disgusting. That's beyond disgusting.
But I must suggest, Jesus, where this brick at? I'm about to beat you in your head. I'm sorry.
Not a brick, child. Not a brick.
So you gotta, okay, let me help some dudes out, right? Because dudes, y'all be getting real anxious. I ain't talking about some people into that, dog. Let me not pass judgment. But you guys to do the, as you're enjoying her company and then you're kissing, touching, fondling, you got to do the 2-finger test. And anybody that's worth their weight in doggone intimacy knows what the 2-finger test is when men do it, right? You jive like, as you're pleasing her, 2 fingers, you slip them in. Try to get as deep as you can because like the surface may smell good, but soon you pass the surface, you may hit sushi highway, right? So
I was going to try not to laugh. Didn't you laugh? I cannot.
You might hit sushi highway. So you get 2 fingers deep as in it as you can. And then you got to be cool with it. You just can't bring it straight to you. You got to put a titty in your mouth, right? And as you got the titty in your mouth, you bring the other hand up, right? And she wondered what happened to the penetration. Like, oh, I'm going to go back, baby. 1 second. And you take a deep inhale as you suck the titty. That way you'll get the full. And if it smells like aged flounder.
Ew. Listen, I promise after this podcast, I'm not eating fish for like a year.
If it smells like aged doggone gumbo, grab your phone and say, my man just called me, I gotta go. She ain't gonna hear it ring. You gotta get out of there. Like you just don't be that dude. Be that rude.
Listen,
don't be that dude.
Don't be that dude. Listen,
you gotta go. But that's not your fault. And then, okay, you get home, she's gonna wonder what happened, right? And then she may be mad because you got the gas, you got the car started, you revved the engine, but you didn't take it off for a drive. Female told me that before. Shout out, hey Sabrina, how you doing? So, but I had to bounce. Her people was coming home. That's another story in itself, right? You know what I mean? Back down memory lane. See you standing there. Such a happy pair. But no, you gotta bounce, Slim. Whatever you do, just don't go in. You gotta leave. Cause even if you plan on just smashing, then you're gonna go past the interest and you're gonna get deep. And then I promise you, a delicatessen gonna fill the room and you're gonna be like, why did I do that? So save yourself, right? Go home, rub 1 or 2 out. Yeah. And the same thing. Let me flip the coin over and get that same advice to females, right? Like, you down there doing what you're doing, and then, it's like, man, it's nothing smells like sweaty balls. Nothing like that. Ugh. Jesus. Ugh. Like, you leave the court, and you're like, oh, what the hell is that? That's you, nigga. That's you. Right. So, ladies, if you get near his navel and you smell something that, like, smell something that smells like roasted death, like, you gotta, like, yeah, I just remember.
Whoa, but we missing a key point opponent with dudes too.
What's that?
Dudes that don't wipe their ass real good.
Oh, I don't know what dudes you.
No, not me. Not I. Not I said the fly.
So I can't speak for all men. I don't. I just cannot speak for all. You guys to. Why do you say dudes don't? Every dude. Only way that you would know that means every dude that you've been with didn't wipe their ass good.
No. So, this is not.
Okay, so how you gonna make a blanket statement like that then? Say again?
I said no. This wasn't personal story time.
Yeah, okay. You see, I used to be cleaning shit up. Lord. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Go ahead.
She told him all her exes. She told him all her exes.
I did not.
You did. It's all right. So, okay. Let me ask the question. Let me see if you're going to be honest. Have you ever been in a situation where a dude did not wipe?
Yes, I have been in that situation. I have.
That's just nasty.
Oh,
Hopefully he was young. I hope he wasn't old.
He was young.
All right, cool. I mean, and that's still no excuse. That's just nasty. Anyway, can we move off of this what the fuck news? Because we went down a rabbit hole of just hygiene. It went from what the fuck news to telltale signs that you should not be having sex because the person's hygiene sucks.
I mean, listen, a little PSA goes a long way.
Yeah, true. Shout out to my man with the frozen face. Shout out to the female that still let him went down anyway.
Right, because that's my whole thing. Like, the doctor had to have told you. Like, spermicide. Okay, so for those of you who do not know what spermicide is, it's cream you put on the inside of your vagina. So when he bust up the club.
Shoot up the club.
Right. Till motherfuckers die. So my thing is, you weren't going to warn him?
No, because she nasty.
Put chemical cream?
She nasty.
She tried not to be a parent. I mean, I understand she ain't trying to be a parent, but damn.
Nah, she nasty. And then on top of and then she double nasty because think about it. If she got to use that, right? Then she's planning on having unprotected sex. Not only is she nasty, she dangerous. Michael Jackson rolling around in the grave right now. It's terrible. Dangerous.
Okay, the girl is so
dangerous. Take my money. No, what the fuck was Michael saying? That's my dude, though. Let me stop. I love you so much. Nah, he don't mess with Prince, but there's a couple of Mike songs. I promise you, like y'all know that y'all know my spiel. And look, we got a podcast coming. We got a serious topic coming. Right? We having fun. But like, I there's certain songs.
Wait, go
you
back.
all right?
No.
What's wrong with you? Oh, she appeared on herself. She about to call her boyfriend over. Tell me she clean.
What's wrong with me? I was so not expecting that. There's every now and then you really do catch me off guard, but the MJ impression, that was pretty good.
What? You don't understand. Like, I get my zone, right? So anybody, any the regulars to the podcast listeners know that, by night, I am the lovable asshole DK Walker, your favorite podcaster times 2, right? But by day, I'm your friendly neighborhood trash man. Oh, excuse me, sanitation technician. Fancy word for trash man. And so I am 50. Sometimes the bones hurt. Sometimes the back hurts. Sometimes the legs are. I feel like Jello. So I will, throw a song. I got a random playlist on my iPod, right? I did say iPod because I like, I'm that old, right? Still have it, still works. Long story longer, right? Sometime Mike will come on and I promise you, then I'll just repeat one single repeat and I will rock out to an MJ song like for a couple of hours. Like, I've done it to him. I've done it to Janet. So yeah, man. But anyway, can we come about this rabbit hole?
Yeah. I've never listened
Michael
to
Jackson just like,
right. I've never
Mike.
listened to Dangerous ever.
What?
Nope. As soon as it comes on, I'm skipping it. I'm skipping it.
Why?
Because that's going to play in my head and I'm going to bust out laughing just like I did a minute ago.
Nah, man. Mike was the man.
I'm gonna call you to come in there on your part. I'll be like, hold on, wait for it. There you go, DK. There you go.
And okay,
listen, I might just do it, put it out in the gram, huh?
And say again.
I said I might just need to do it just for the gram, just one time for the gram.
Oh Jesus, no! Look, and then Mike used to put people up on game. right? Like we about to get into the podcast. I promise you. We just on the roll right now. Bear with us. Now, hopefully, y'all having a good time, right? With so much sadness in the world today, the elections coming up soon. As of this recording,
Go vote.
Go vote. Election is this Tuesday. We're recording this Tuesday. Excuse me. Matter of fact, it's next week. Next 7 days from that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So go vote. Whatever
or you
do.
can go do it in person. Right now, the early voting should be available in your state.
Yeah. We stayed like 10 minutes from the high school, and the cars and lines and I'm so proud of people. Like, I don't want to tell people how to vote, what to vote, who to vote for. Okay, I just lied. Anything is better than what we got. You can read between the lines. Let's go Biden. So with that being said and whatnot, yeah, man, go vote, but I was talking about Mike, right? So I almost lost my train of thought, but now Mike put people up on game. People used to question Mike because he was, I won't say weird, he was eccentric, right? So the difference between being weird and eccentric, when you're weird, you're broke. When you're eccentric, you're rich. Like, a rich person can be eccentric. You're not going to call a rich person weird, right? Because they have a certain way that they move and they act. And most geniuses, are eccentric. You know what I mean? And so, but Mike was really putting dudes upon game, like with the girls know, the dangerous. Girls know damn good for me. Right. So anytime a female is going to let you go down on her and she got doggone pesticide in her drawers.
Pesticide. No.
It's not pesticide?
No.
Anytime she got
pesticide is the stuff you put on the grass.
No shit, Sherlock. Anytime she got pesticide in her drawers and she still let you go down on her. No damn good for me.
Listen, for nobody.
I'm just saying. And then back on the mic, boy, because I promise we got a podcast coming. We got to go into look. So, and then he gave y'all something else about the boy ain't mine. Like, he was like, the baby, like, nah, we had sex, but he ain't mine. Like, he was like, don't put that kid on me. Like, he was giving us game way back, and we just thought Mike was black to the core. No matter how, you know what I mean? Mike was hood. Let's keep it a buck. He was out of Indiana, right? And you can't come out of Indiana being soft.
All right, Billie Jean. All right.
Right. We just might have to walk down the whole Michael Jackson. No,
we're not. No, we're not.
We are not today, but
No, we're not.
Shit, I do it by my damn self. You bumped your damn head.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a whole Michael Jackson podcast.
Montage. Okay.
Yeah, you fucking right. I mean, it's only right. But if I do him, then I got to do Prince, because like that's my
exactly. That was exactly my point. I'm like, no, we're not. Oh no, we're not.
Yeah, I dig in the crate on Prince shit. I promise you.
Right. Listen, we both be in our feelings, but
I've been enjoying crying.
Listen, the day Prince died, y'all know I was. Oh God, that was. Yeah, we have to do a Prince one because that day.
No, I don't want to. Let's moving right along. Moving.
All right. So, Roger Ebert said, "Of what use is freedom of speech to those who fear to offend?" I'll read it again. Of what use is freedom of speech to those who fear to offend?
So, okay. Are you ready? I'm gonna let you go ahead and take, cause I'm gonna jump in. No.
You did your deep breath. So you ready?
I'm whatever people may think about me, I'm a gentleman. It's only right. Ladies first. Ladies first.
Oh, now you're Queen Latifah. I think freedom of speech, it's one of those things that we love to improperly defend. We feel like
what? Oh, you said, okay, let me let you expound. I'm sorry. I'm so rude. Let me just improperly defend. Like, freedom.
We do, because we feel like the freedom of speech gives us the right to say whatever we want to whomever we want to, whenever we want to. And at some point, you have to become an adult and be responsible for your actions and the things that you say.
Mm-hmm. Keep talking to them.
So, so that being said, people are always like, "It's my freedom of speech." Is it though?
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
Keep going.
Because ask the people who've gotten fired. Ask people who have lost. Who have had books being pulled off the shelves. Who have lost. Any kind of way that, you put out media, whether it's a podcast, a radio show, TV show, whatever, media platform they've used. Yes, you have the freedom of speech, but you can't use it as the shield of impenetrability that I can say what the fuck I want to, and you just got to take it. No. No, that's not how this works. Go
Okay,
ahead.
no. I'm gonna show you how to really. This how you interview your person, or this is how you, because you said something. So it's only for you to jump into mine, because that means I was listening to you, but I was hearing you, but I wasn't listening. That means I wasn't paying attention. So you're saying that's not how freedom of speech works. The reason I'm repeating you, because I want you and the listeners to know that I'm listening. I'm actively listening to exactly what you said, right? So please enlighten me and the other people how freedom of speech works, please. Like, because you said that's not how it works. So how does it work? Because I'm kind of confused. That's the gray area. Like I thought freedom means I'm without restraints of speech, means I'm free to speak. I'm a high school dropout, people. I'm not deep. I'm fat. That means I work wide. So I want my co-host that graduated with honors. I don't know if that's true or not. I threw it in because shit sounded good.
I was gonna say no. No.
Okay. I want my co-host that graduated.
Right. Graduated
By the skin of her teeth
okay.
to explain to me the meaning of, because I'm that's the gray area for me and a lot of people. So please, by all means.
So the freedom of speech should not be in the point of it's offensive to someone else.
Okay, keep going.
So we have because this is my issue. People take the freedom of speech in the cloak of, I have an issue. I have a personal issue with said group or said opinion or said, so then now I'll shoot my mouth off with, which is really my personal opinion. No factual basis, nothing to support it, and then just let it fly. And then when you get backlash, especially now because, social media is, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, what am I forgetting? TikTok and all that. So you make offensive videos and things of that nature. And then when you get called out, oh, it's my freedom of speech. No, it's just you wanting to really show the world what an asshole you are. That could be your personal choice. That could be your personal belief. But don't try to cloak it in the fact of, oh, the government gave me freedom of speech, so I can just use it. This is my get out of jail free card. No, you have to take some personal responsibility for what is your actual personal belief versus what is true.
Okay. All right. Girl is so dangerous.
I'm not doing this.
I'm just, you dangerous. If that's what you believe in, be like, free is free and that is not. Like that's like, okay, so I got a problem. I'm on one because the before we got on air and we did record it. Like, I don't know if it'll ever hear the light of day. I don't control that because I've listened to recent podcasts. I'm like, hold up, I said something right here and I thought it was cute, and then come find out it wasn't even there. So my co-host, because she does all that, she handles the editing and the distribution of the podcast. So no matter what I say, it's a possibility that it may not, the light of day might not even see it, right? Like, because I don't, like, it's her show. I work for her, right? Not a problem. So maybe what I'm about to say, will get heard, maybe not. But I'm kind of stuck because it can't be, if something's free, it's free. It's not free with limits, and therefore it was never free in the first place. And I'm not a deep dude. I just, I rock by in life because I'm common sense 101. Like, I've mastered the art of common sense. I love words. You know what I mean? When my Bell palsy act up, sometimes I slur those words I love, but nonetheless, at the end of the day, I still love words. And if you know the root meanings of words, nobody can ever talk to you, at you, or around you, right? So as she's talking, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to act like I'm deep. I'm not going to act like I knew. I'm searching up freedom of speech. Does freedom of speech have limits? But I'm not understanding if they tell me that, I'm free to act, but I'm free to act within limits, and there's no freedom. And so, me personally, the Constitution does not give me the right to do anything as as a man, as a child of God. I think free will, whether those that believe or don't believe in it, trumps and supersedes with a piece of paper tells me what I can and cannot do. And see, and this stemmed from this whole topic, right about now, because. And then it was really nice of my co-host to read the quote from that was the movie dude. What was his name again?
Roger Ebert.
Yeah. God bless and rest, right? We just live in real sensitive times. Like we really do. So the topic that we were going to talk about on this podcast, we was going to look at people and their viewpoints. And I'm going to say this, and we're not going down that rabbit hole. So me and my co-host had a strong disagreement because we're going to talk about people and their very nearsightedness and the way that they view gays. She was opposed to doing it because she didn't want to feel as though she wanted to threaten anybody. And I was not looking to be yay or nay. I was looking to call people out on their short-sightedness. My thing is let people be who they are, right? And so instead of us doing that topic of like telling people like, y'all, judge not, least ye be judged, not even taken on a biblical term, but like you the audacity of people to even call anybody out for whatever that they're doing. Like your shit so clean. Please be gone. Poof. Look, the thing is that I honestly believe that we just live in a time, especially now, we're just so sensitive. Like I was doing Michael Jackson. Like we passed Michael Jackson sensitive, right? Even fucking Michael Jackson wasn't this motherfucking sensitive. This is crazy. If I disagree with you, doesn't mean I'm like, what? Like we can't disagree. We can't be mature enough. No matter whether you hate the words that's coming out my mouth, no matter if you hate my viewpoint, you're telling me that we're not mature enough to disagree. Like, we have idiots that have made a living behind a microphone. Shout out to Rush Limbaugh, right? I pray you get better. I know you go through with your cancer, right? You know what I mean? We've had idiots to say anything out their mouth, right? And okay, but the world still turned and those idiots got rich. So does because there was no backlash. And now you get people that's getting fired for saying, and I mean, I'm black, but you have some really offensive and racist people saying some of the most asinine thing. So if I want to say that freedom of speech should be free for everybody, then I can't be like, it's only free when you say something that doesn't offend me. Like, what? Then it's not free speech.
But the thing is, when has the government given us anything and it actually was free?
My bad, I'm sorry, the government. Like what? The who? The what? You said the government?
Mm-hmm. Because the thing is, the Constitution
is the same government that still considers us 3/4 of a human being. That law has never been changed.
Acres, right, the 40 acres and a mule.
I don't know about that part, but I know it's still written that, we're considered 3/4. And it's kind of crazy that I'm talking about that. We was considered 3/4. And somebody please fact check me and correct me if I'm wrong. We were considered 3/4 of a human being because if we're less than you, that means we didn't have the right to vote back in the gap. But that law was it may have been amended, but that law has never changed. If I'm wrong, please somebody in the comments, no matter where you listen, no matter what platform that you listen to this podcast on, please correct me if I'm wrong, right? So there's no way that I'm even going to listen to a government that considers me less than. Like, what really? Y'all consider me less than, so I'm gonna listen to exactly what y'all say. But y'all have never taken the time out to even, to fix that. You were saying?
But my thing is, that's where the whole freedom of speech comes from.
Comes from what? The First Amendment, right?
Right.
Okay.
So my thing is, if the government gives you something which they've never given us anything, why then would you be so apt to say, oh, I'll take my freedom? You'll like almost fight for your freedom of speech, but not the rest of it. Not just saying you, but I'm just saying in general.
But once again, we can't judge, and that's being judgmental, because you can't judge what fight a person chooses to do their battles in. Bottom line, like that's the whole thing. People are just so, they won't you gotta let a person be. If they want to fight for the First Amendment alone, by all means. Okay, we got somebody that's going to fight for the rest of them, right? The other 12, I think it's 13 amendments. I could be wrong, but there's going to be somebody else who's going to fight for the other 12. So I don't care about that one person going rah for one. That's, once again, free will. That's your call. By all means, shout to your lungs is sore, right? That's that. I don't understand that. I promise you I don't. It says, let me read this, and I just Googled it, right? It says, does freedom of speech have limits? The First Amendment allows us to speak our mind and stand up for what we believe in. However, the limits on free speech are rooted in the principle that we're not allowed to harm others to get what we want. That's why we're not allowed to use to speech for force, fraud, or defamation. Right. Okay. All right. So you can have an opinion. Okay, let's talk about my man. And I know he probably like, who? Like, I'm talking about this dude, like it's cool. Like, but I still love him though. So let's talk about Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon got in hot water. Like, he didn't wish death on anybody. He didn't speak ill to the point whereas, he was trying to rile up the racists. He was stating things that he believed to be true. But still, he was made to apologize later, or he was he was asked to apologize later for speaking what he believed to be true. I'm kind of confused that is this where we're going to nowadays? It's going to get to the point now that we can't say anything in disagreement with anybody or any race of people or any sexuality of people or anything of any people. And then we're going to be held to that. You can't, you can't, right? Right. So you take my man, you take Kevin Hart, right? You know, Kevin Hart went through the whole go through with the community, right? When he said the joke about his son, right? He said a joke about his son. And then it's crazy. It was off a stand up that was eons ago. And then as he started to blow up, he was still that material was still on Netflix. The whole stand up was still on Netflix. It didn't get called into question until he was considered to host the Oscars. So the people that's talking about, I'm offended. Were you offended at the time that the Oscars he was or were you offended as soon as he said it? Because he said it like 10 years prior. So do we get to pick and choose the times we're offended or we're offended right then and there? Because like I said, it wasn't like he said this in some doggone stand-up club in the back alley of Philadelphia where he come from. He said this, you know what I mean, on one of his doggone joints. I think it's Some of My Pain or one of his early joints.
Oh,
but it was still, My Pain. It was whenever he said it, it was on Netflix and he was in front of a large audience. So do we get to, I'm going to pull this out because I need to control whomever's talking crazy or whoever's talking what I deem to be offensive. I'm going to pull it out and now I'm going to hold you to it. Now I'm going to dangle this carrot over your head. Like, so help me to understand how does this doggone free speech thing works again, right? You get to pick and choose when you're offended.
And that's pretty much it, though, because this is another part of it. It says freedom of speech and expression, therefore, may not be recognized as being absolute, and common limitations or boundaries of freedom of speech relate to libel, slander, obscenity, pornography, incitement, fighting words, classified information, copyright violation, trade secrets, food labeling, non-disclosure agreements, the right to privacy, dignity, the right to be forgotten, public security, and perjury.
Okay.
So at any point, your freedom of speech can be challenged because I can consider it slander. I can consider it libel. I can consider it to be going against my dignity. So that's how you get in trouble with this whole freedom of speech thing, because it's not free. Because it's always up for interpretation.
The whole language is up for interpretation. What may be funny to you may not be funny to somebody else. What you may agree with, you may strongly disagree. Like somebody else may strongly disagree. So my thing is like let's come on now. Let's like if we're gonna keep it a buck, right? Because me personally, like, because I'm going to be bigger than what I'm currently am, right? And somebody may go back and listen to the podcast. Somebody may pull whatever out my past. Like, cool. Now it's all coming down the pipe, right? And I've just said this countless time on my podcast. Like, my daughter thinks I'm Superman. Like, as long as she loves daddy, like I don't crumble on the public opinion because I don't know the public. The public doesn't hold no sway in my life. And so the people we're talking about, like when Nick going through his go through, right? They need to bring back Wild 'N Out, so they bullshitting. Kevin Hart went through his go through, right? Like, because, certain companies and then they have endorsement deals. So I'm gonna take away this credit if you don't tap just right. Like, what? So you got to ask yourself, am what I'm saying, do I truly believe it? Because if you don't believe it, then don't say it. And I'm not saying something to flat out, hurt somebody, right? Like if you call somebody, that happens to be gay, FAG, right? Like okay, cool. That's a difference. Like, we know that's not covered by freedom of speech. We know that, right? Just like when you call a black person, the N-word, right? Mm-hmm. And it's crazy because I usually say, the N-word, but I didn't want to not say the FAG word. Like, so it's kind of crazy how I'm actually editing myself not to be offensive. This shit, it is my podcast. I'm sorry, it's Karen's podcast. I got to hit myself. Look, I'm only thing I'm saying to this, I refuse personally, right? I will never go, okay, and I label myself, the lovable asshole, but I'm not going to go out my way to spew something that I know knowingly, right? Keyword is knowingly. That's going to be offensive to somebody. Now I'm going to have a lot of opinions that a lot of people is not going to agree with. And I'm cool with that. And I think that's what's wrong with America today, because we promote so much of this individualism that we're starting to turn everybody and then their beliefs into islands. Like no man is an island, but we're being so much of an individual that everybody's becoming an island. And if that island across the way says something that offends this island over here, then I'm going to get the other islands to ride with me to make that island apologize. Or I'm going to take away these endorsement deals. Or I'm going to go ahead and get the show canceled. Or I'm going to go ahead and have the cancel culture just cancel you out. Anytime you jump on social media and whatnot, we're going to disrupt things in your life. Like, what? Because I had a disagreement with you? Really? But and once again, how do we have understanding if we don't have disagreements? I think we can't, like, you can't have a group of people sit down and, okay, say, so if you had the KKK, right? If you had the leader of the KKK, and then if you had Louis Farrakhan sit down in the same room, and both of them laid out what was a problem they believe what was the other group, they're going to disagree because they already on opposite ends. But in order for them to reach a mutual understanding, then a disagreement has to occur so they can get to the root of, well, that's not true about me. Well, that's not true about me, right? If that was to occur, but there's always going to be disagreements.
Right. I think the thing with freedom of speech and like the bumping of heads, it goes back to when we were kids and your mom would say, you got to think before you speak. Because sometimes what we say out of our quote unquote freedom of speech moment is, again, our personal opinion, but we say it because we're upset or we saw something that we think is an injustice or something that we saw that makes us upset. And then we go off of that. And sometimes, like, one of the hardest lessons as an adult that you have to learn is that you can't make all your decisions out of emotion. You can feel the emotion. You can sit there in the emotion. You can process in that emotion, but you can't make your decisions out of that. You got to start being more rational than you are emotional. And so sometimes in our emotional, like being in an emotional state, we just fly off at the mouth. We've all done it, whether you're in a relationship, you know, whether it's a personal relationship or a professional relationship.
Okay, cool. But just because a person fly out their mouth and they say something, you know, are they to be made to bear that cross for the rest of their life? Like, it's so fucking crazy that we want people to be mistake free. Like, the fuck out of here. Like, that's what we like. Okay, we want everybody to be Jesus Christ. Like, that's what we want, right? Like, we want the people that we vote into office never to make a mistake. Like, oh my God, he actually smoked weed? How dare he? Oh my God, he really cheated on his wife in the White House and left residue on a blue dress? How dare he? Like, last time I checked, Bill Clinton was motherfucking human. Last time I checked, Barack Obama was human. Last time I checked, that idiot in the office is human. Everybody's going to make mistakes. Now, okay, it's the difference between making mistakes and then knowingly being disruptive, right? That's the last idiot I'm talking about. But anybody else? Come on, man. Why do we hold these people? Why do we put them on God status? And then why do we try to hold each other up to that knowing goddamn well, if you just pull back the curtain just a little bit, you're going to find something like, oh, I got something. Yeah, like that's in anybody's life.
Right.
And
go ahead.
And that's my problem. Like, stop going out your way to find fault and go out your way to find understanding. Like, how hard can that be? Oh, and the other thing, I don't do fear. Like, okay, I'm scared of certain things, but I don't do fear, right? I'm scared of rats, scared of snakes, but I don't do fear. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, I can't differ with your lifestyle. I don't care what nobody else is like, as long as you're not harming or forcing, don't care what you do. Take it with God. That's my mantra. I don't care what you do, as long as you're not forcing or harming, right? Take it up with God when you die. Moving along.
Everybody's not like that. Everybody's not built.
I get that, but you okay. But I'm like that. And since I'm like that, freedom of speech, free will, whatever you want to call it, you're not going to subject me to your bullshit. How am I like, what? And I can see if I was just like, I can see if I was just on some loose candy shit. Like I was out this joint just talking real reckless. F them people words. How could they? Oh, they are less than a man. Oh, I can't. Like, nah, that's not what I am. But and since I'm not like that, you know what I mean? I do voice my opinions from and educated, please. At least I believe I do, right? And if I'm wrong, pull up on me. Let me like, no, you was dead ass wrong here. Let's have a discussion because now there's a misunderstanding. There's a disagreement, right? And then you voice, I voice. Now we have an understanding. We're not in heaven. We're not in paradise. Until that day comes, if you believe, right? For those that believe, until that day comes and we're here as humans, there will always be disagreements. There will always be strife. And because a person is pro something does not make them anti anything.
That's true. But I don't think that we're in the climate or the culture to understand that.
But that's just it. Okay, I don't give a fuck about the climate. I don't give a fuck about a culture. If each person, like just like I'm not looking to. Okay, people want to affect change, but the only way that true change can be affected is within the house. Like you can't go change the world, and your house is chaos. Bottom line, flat out, I want a better world. I want to, but your house is crazy. So you are a representative of your home, and there's a lot of factors that go into that, the way that you were raised. Systematic racism, you know what I mean? A lot of things have been put in place against, and racism works both ways, by the way, right? It puts us, as far as the minority, as far as black and brown people in this country, in the trick bag in so many areas, but it also teaches the unknowing white people to hate for no reason, because they don't know no better, because that's the opposite. Like racism works two ways. It puts black and brown people in a disadvantaged state. And then it makes people that's unknowing hate for no reason, because that's been perpetuated as well. They've been raised that way. So not only have black and brown people are at a disadvantage, but also white people. Like people rarely talk about that. Racism hurts both ways.
True, it does. But in the same token, you have people who don't care, who don't want to know better. My mom used to always tell us, if you know better, you do better. But everybody doesn't want that knowledge because they like where they are. They just want to say what they want to say, do what they want to do, and F whoever gets hurt in the process.
Right. That goes back down to free will. Like, cool. Now that's what you choose to do. That's what you like. Cool. As long as you now, okay. I'm not understanding how words are so, and I get that because some people can say something, they can rile certain people up, and now we got situations. And that's the current climate of America. I wholeheartedly get that. But when you hear a person talk and you hear exactly what they said and then you spin it to be offended, that's why I got my problem at. I do agree that when you have power, right, and you say something that can really put a country at unrest, now you've been a fucking idiot. Now, I want somebody to quote me. Don't snip that and chop it and screw it and then have me saying some wild cowboy shit. I didn't say that. What I said is when you're in power and then you say something that had the whole country at unrest, like, of course you're a fucking idiot. Because your words are powerful. But if we're talking about entertainers, if we're talking about people that's on podcasts and I have an opinion and I state it, like, I don't think nobody died, right? I don't think nobody's like, if you don't like what I'm saying, don't listen to my podcast. That's the same thing with old school comedians. They're like, I'd be damned if I apologize for my routine or change, like Bill Burr. Like, I just recently got up on Bill. I knew nothing about Bill. Bill Burr is the white Dave Chappelle, only worse. Like Bill Burr showed his doggone pale ass on Saturday Night Live, like few Saturdays ago. Like if y'all know what I'm talking about, please, it's on YouTube somewhere. It's on the net somewhere. Like he went all the way in, and people were uncomfortable. But people were uncomfortable, right? But not once have you heard about. And I don't know if he has endorsement deals, but you don't not once hear about him or a group trying to cancel him or censor him. I wonder why is that? Oh, maybe because he's white. Interesting. Not a problem. Same thing with Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle, like when he did that 27, was it 23? It was a time when, as long as they knelt on George Floyd's neck, right? He did a stand up, and it wasn't even a stand up. It wasn't nothing funny about the shit, right? And he said but he didn't go all the way in. But he said enough to make a person to think. He provoked thought, right? Mm-hmm. And because we love him so much, it's kind of hard to mute the truth. And if Dave Chappelle doesn't, say anything else, he's always a truth. That's when we love him so much. He's a truthful guy. Like he doesn't have to do the shuck and jive and the bullshit. He just come down and tell you the truth. And I'm gonna word it in such a way that it's humorous, but nonetheless, it's still truthful. Right?
Right.
And that's just my thing. As long as we have enough people still willing to speak the truth, no matter what, I think we're going to see better days. But all this being this Uber, like, man, fuck you and your feelings. I said it, meant it, stand on it. Come on for me. I'm not tripping. Like, get your sensitive ass on somewhere. Like, please. Like, come on now. And I ain't saying this like, no. I'm not saying this to be offensive. I'm just saying, like, enough is enough. Like, there is no motherfucking way that people in general need to watch each and every word they say, you know what I mean? Just in general conversation. Because if the conversations that's being had at the barbershop will be made online, then I promise you, like, people feel a certain way. If the conversation that was being had at barbecues, and I ain't talking about just black barbecues, at white barbecues, then people will feel a certain way. These conversations need to be made more public and need to be had amongst each other so that would lessen the bullshit of the country that we live in now. And that's the problem.
So do you think that moving forward, because it's going to happen, it's going to happen again and again, you know, for anybody who uses any type of social media, anybody who has a platform, anybody who gets upset and voices their opinion, do you think that it's a self-check moment to say, is this a really me and my feelings, or did I really offend somebody?
Okay, but a person can't be offended unless they gave it power to be offended by, to be honest, right? Like, I want you really to think about that. Okay. People always want to say one person is racist. One person can't be racist. An institution can be racist. Like, let's get that understood. Like, let's please, an institution, the way of life, that can be racist, right? Like, we live in a very systematic racist country. That's not me spewing. That's just fucking fact. Like, that's not hard to research. Right? You look at different standards, and that will bear out what I just said, right? So a person can't be offended until they open up themselves to be like, you, like, okay, he said that, cool, not a problem. Like, and then they be like, well, you don't understand. Like, okay, cool. But if you go around looking to play victim, you will always be victimized. That's with anybody. That's whether you're gay, black, white, Jew, Gentile. Like, and certain people understand that words are just words. I'm gonna give you a great example, right? So a clip had aired of Tony Robbins using the N-word. And they was ready to take Tony Robbins' ass. The hot coals he had people walk over the show. They was ready to rake his ass over the hot coals. But like he didn't even have to clean it up. He just made sense. And he was I forgot who he was talking about. But he said in that doggone thing, he said, like, if what I just said offended you, you will always be a victim. Always. But since it came from somebody white, people felt like it was the truth. And same thing about Bill Burr, Dave Chappelle. It was the truth. So since he's speaking the truth, I took color out of the equation and seen the truth of what it is, and I grew from that. Like, oh shit, he dropped a Jew. Okay, and I'm not even. Tony's cool. He's my man. Tony's cool, but he's my man. Like, but Tony has no problem going over the line. Now he may be able to go over the line because he is white, but nonetheless, when he did go over the line, it was in truth. It wasn't for shock value. He just spoke the truth. I'll give you another one. This is way back before you was born, and most of our listeners before they were born. CBS back in the day, NFL Today, they was killing it, right? Jimmy the Greek, and they say used to talk about betting. And so Jimmy the Greek was a Vegas guy. I don't know if he came with Vegas, but he would come through with the line and the stats. And they bet on Washington, take the over, and always had a raspy voice because he smoked like a doggone pack of cigarettes every hour. You know what I mean? So a reporter caught up to him off camera. At least he wasn't at the station, and he was clearly drunk. He was clearly drunk, right? Clearly inebriated, right? Clearly. And so the reporter asked him something, and then he was like, you know, at this rate, there's not going to be any positions left for white athletes. He said, like, you know, he was drunk, and this is what he said. He said, blacks were bred to be the superior athlete. They were bred to be physically superior. He's like, you get, you know, a big, strong, he said buck, and you made it with a big, strong gal, something to that effect, right? And then they had the babies, and they make sure they kept that going on. And it was like, you know what I mean? It was like the assembly line. You know, you create the super child that way. It's, once again, all this is facts. I'm not, go research it, come on back and say, yeah, you're right, whether you want to admit that or not. So this is what Jimmy Greek said. As soon as he said, this way back in the 70s, either late 70s, early 80s, as soon as he said that, he got fired. And I'm trying to, and as a kid, right? As a kid, I'm like, okay, I didn't, because I understood, about slavery. I understood even as a child, right? Because like those things I wanted to know about. So as a child, I understood that Jimmy the Greek spoke the truth. Why was he penalized for speaking the truth? I didn't understand that because he was white. But if a black person had said that, like, okay, nothing would have been made of it. And that's the bullshit I got with America today. That's the bullshit I got with people today. Like, stop. The truth is the truth no matter who said it. Whether you agree or disagree. Like, that's one thing about the truth, man, is you can't deny it.
So
it is what it is.
So you're saying if the truth was more palatable to,
but that's just it. And that's the beauty. The truth is never. It's never like the truth is always hard to swallow because we live in this. We live in the society that we live in right now is that of a participation trophy. Like that. And that's the mindset that we all have. That America has conditioned us to stay in. And what I mean by participation trophy, as long as here you go, good little boy, good little girl, you tried. And to have that mindset, you don't want confrontation. You just want something because you showed up. But that's the thing about the truth. The truth don't show up. The truth is there. You cannot deny the truth. Now, you may do things to usurp the truth. You may, paint the truth so it seems though it's, untruthful. But man, at the end of the day, the truth is the truth and there's nothing that you can do about it. Nothing.
That is very true. Well,
this is offended. I'm sorry. I know you're about to close out. You can be offended all the fuck you want to. You know what I mean? Like, please be offended, but then go do your research, right? And after you do your research and see the research that you did, right? See if that you take that research and you put it against what offended you. And if the truth against what's offended you, if they equal up to be the same thing, you need to stop being offended.
Very true. Very true. This is a self-check moment. This is your girl. It's the Thorny Chick here in KK Rose. This is where I pass the baby off to DK for the Daily Love Jones.
You usually say, this mean old man. That's what you usually say. Look at you self-editing. Terrible. Look, people, long story short, man, I like we were supposed to do another podcast and me and my co-host, we had a difference of opinion, and then that difference of opinion bled over to us doing this. Like, we gotta stop living in fear. Like, there's only one race. That's the human race. That's bottom line, flat out. Now, there's certain things that we do to identify the difference within that human race, but at the end of the day, just one human race, just one. We all got the same problems. We all would love to, make more money. We all would like a brighter future for our kids. We all would like to live life and not be judged because of the way that we live. We all, no matter what color you are, no matter what sexuality that you claim, right? No matter what religion that you practice, it's all we want. We just want to live our life, be left the fuck alone. That's it. But the controlling powers that be, whether it be social media, the media, politics, the government, if I can have people in a fearful state, then, I can move people around like pawns. So it's not me being on some conspiracy shit. It's just life. It's just factual, right? Like, I promise you, man, the same problems that I face in my household, some white man that's married, with 2 daughters, he's facing the same bullshit. I'll give you a great comment. A couple of years ago, grocery store. And this is, it's a rarity that I see this, but once I seen it, I understood, and my man understood too. Right. So I'm with the missus and we out and we shopping. She went in front of me and whatnot. And I hear this lady tearing off into this man's ass. Like, when I say belittle, she went in on his monkey ass. I look over and lo and behold, it's a white woman. When I say she was pissed beyond pissed, and I looked at him and he looked at me. And we just had that knowing look. He ain't had to tell me I know he was married. He ain't had to tell me I know he been there for a minute. He ain't had to tell me because I've heard that same doggone tongue lashing from my motherfucking wife, right? He was white. I was black. I nodded. He nodded back. I pushed my card on. The truth, people. You can't deny it. It's just life. We go through the same shit. We go through the same stuff, people. And once we start to agree that we go through the same stuff, we can stop going through the extra shit that keeps us divided.
Well, it's your girl, the Thorny Chick here in KK Rose. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Y'all are the dopest listeners to mankind. Y'all rock with us week after week, every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. You guys are telling your friends. You guys are, rocking heavy with us and, letting us be our best selves as we grow and you guys grow. We're getting to a really good place. I'm really, really proud of all of us. This is your girl, Thorny Chic, Karen KK Rose, alongside my co-host, Lovable Asshole, DK Walker. DK.
What?
In your non-offensive way, tell the people bye-bye.
Man, look, I love y'all for listening, so I ain't gonna be an ass and curse y'all out because y'all didn't deserve that. But all jokes aside, just be who you are, man. Fear is a terrible thing. God, whether you believe or don't believe, I believe. I'm a strong believer. I'm a sinning Christian. But one thing I do know, God did not give me the spirit of fear. And that has in every aspect of my life, right? That means I'm not going to walk around and worry about what I'm saying to it. I don't go my way. So just be you. At the end of the day, just be you. Be authentic. Be good to yourself. And everything else will take care of itself. And with that being said, peace.
This is the Love Is Podcast. We out.
This episode of the Love Is Podcast has ended. But please be sure to subscribe for more great content on sex, entrepreneurship, life, love, and how to get through the BS of it all. And don't forget to rate and leave a review so we can continue to bring more of that thorny chick, Karen KK Rose, and, dare I say, the lovable a-hole, Mr. DK Walker. See you on the next podcast.